so glad that you're still with us on this topic, because there have been 3 sections to it so far. We have covered a very prime part of this topic, how you feel about yourself, and going to God and being able to say to God, no, let me only see myself from you, not from me, but from you, in order to clear away that judgmental human mind that downs us, that depresses us, that makes us feel so lonely, unworthy, insecure, the human mind. And going to God helps you with that. And likewise, with the judgments about other people, which are so much a part of the human race. You know how that human mind can hate, can kill, can be so selfish, self-centered, not care about the well-being of the others. We don't have a society yet, and unfortunately never will, in the human dimension, in which people are treated as the divine being that they are, and that people are treated with the love that they deserve. And so we're into the next aspect now, and that is the problems we've got with ourselves and the problems we have with other people. Guess who we also have problems with? Did you get it? It's with God Himself. Now, this might be the point at which I tackle this problem of using that word Him with God, because it has been revealed to me that Jesus' mother, the mother of Jesus, is in actuality, according to Jesus, Mother God. That everything that Jesus is, as one with the Father as well, is Mary, with her own powers equal to Jesus, equal to the Father, because of their oneness with the Father, that Mary is Mother God. Now, I'm not saying this to you in terms of a Catholic or Protestant position, because none of them have been able to accomplish this. And Jesus even explains that and states that Mary is not recognized, is not seen as the God being that she is, because of the male influence in the church. It's the male influence that denies that. And we know, we watch in this world, how women are not given equality in this world, and so often the butt of oppression in a culture, as well as in individuality, as well as in being able to survive, make a living. We know that men are given better treatment than women are. And so it applies as well in the area of spirituality, that women are not given the respect that they are one with God, one with Jesus. They are one with her, with the same powers to accomplish healing and salvation in this world. And it provides, therefore, the opportunity for those who would wish to pray to the mother or the female part of God as something they identify with, the opportunity to do so with no loss whatsoever. They are equal. They are equal. And so, when we're talking about God, when we use the term Him, please understand if I say that I see God as the oneness with Jesus and Mary. That this has been shown to me. They wish that it be revealed to the world, and I am doing so after 2,000 years of this. It is being shown. And so we turn to the issues with God, and that might make as well a strengthening of your relationship to God. It can also introduce a weakness, because you have to ask also, well, how do you feel about the female part of God? Is it a rejoicing for you, or do you feel uncomfortable and it's a threat to you? And remember, The problem is how you feel about others. The problem is never outside yourself. It's how you feel. And so we turn to the issues with God. Well, we do have a problem with God, and a very, very good reason for it. This world is not centered primarily on God. This world denies the primacy of God as our Creator. When we think of our creation, we think of our mother and father, earthly mother and father who created us. Instead of recognizing that we are souls, and instead of recognizing what Jesus mentioned, life is in the spirit, we block that, and the body is nothing. We rejoice in the body as something, and of ourselves being a replacement for God and trying to establish our own worth independent of God. That's what's going on, and therefore, since we are challenging and denying the primacy of God and denying God as our beloved Creator, guess what that's going to cause in us when we think about God? You're thinking about possibility of some guilt? Oh yes, you've got it. If we are denying that, and there's a part of us which senses the presence of God, we are going to feel uneasy about our rebelliousness over the true Creator and trying to make a creation of ourselves as bodily beings, an entirely different creation, which Jesus states, sorry, that creation is part of your own wish to make something different, and it's your own fantasy and your own belief that makes it. And God doesn't even mind that, because what we have made of ourselves in this false creation, in this miasma, in this fantasy, in this dream that we are somehow or other creators, that when we have a child, we are the child's creator, instead of knowing that child is a soul that has come into the world. Knowing these kinds of things, we are going to have difficulties with God. And so there's one of two ways that you can approach this. If you want the fullness of flow of healing spirit to go through you, if you're sick, troubled in your mind, troubling thoughts, or bodily sick, or you are sick in terms of your identity, you need to be able to go to God. And if you're afraid of God, that's the first thing that you have to go with. And you would need to say, I need to come to you, but I'm frightened. And I ask your help with my fear of you. Have to go at it directly. You can't skirt it. It will not be skirted. It must be healed, and you cannot heal this yourself. There is no way that your mind, your human mind, can heal your feelings about yourself or about other people, nor God. Not possible, because your human mind's causing the problem in the first place. And in order to get healing, in order to be able to enter into the process of salvation, you have to be able to get to God. And so you would turn to God with your fear of maybe that God would be punitive. Lord, are you punitive? Ask God that. Ask it. God, do I have anything to be afraid of with you? Ask God that. Ask God that. Or if you've gotten past those issues, and what you're after is rather being able to see God in a greater fullness in order to be able to offer yourself more to God, to surrender to God, to let God use you not only for your own healing but for others, then the prayer would be, Lord, let me see you as you truly are. Let me see you as you truly are, not the way I see you, but the way you truly are. And you're opening to God now the broadest opening of a consciousness in which God rises in it with his healing powers that can overcome, with God's consciousness as yours, troubled minds, troubled bodies, troubled circumstances, troubles alone with going to God. All of this gets resolved. And again, I remind your hearts, it has to be prayed repeatedly, because God is very gentle and is moving you towards the awareness of the truth of who God is and of yourself and of others, gently to do it, rather than a quick thrust which could destabilize you. And it would take a number of prayers, a number of times, in order to feel the awareness of the loving God that is the truth of who God is, a loving God. Do you remember my statement earlier in these sessions? There is but one truth, ye are God's, and ye are loved. Good hearts, I've met God. I've seen God. God talks to me. If you go on our website, ChristianLaityFoundation.org, and look at the footletter of Notes Divine, 15 years of messages of this healing curriculum, and decide yourself if it's safe to go to God. I've met God. All I can tell you is, yes, it's safe. But for you to believe it, I can't do that for you, but for you to believe it, you must feel it. And God wants you to feel it and wants you to have that awareness so invested, so much part of you, that you can live from it and lose the fear of death because you're an eternal being, the fear of your worth because you feel this worth which never, never got touched by all the fantasies of this human mind and the destructiveness that it did. It's all a dream. None of this has touched the godliness of yourself, and nothing has influenced the relatedness of the love of God for you for all eternity. This life was just a dream, and your thoughts about God were part of this bad dream. God is unconditional love. That's the best that I can do for you at this time, is to be able to say this to you. But you're going to see it because you're even looking at this. And this is planting the seeds. Hope it's helpful. Goodbye for now.